Hey guys, out here in the verse. Every week brings something new. A patch that soars, a bug that bites, and a few things that just defy explanation. This is where we break it down. The highlights, the heartbreaks, and the hilarious chaos of Star Citizen. The ships that shine, the missions that crash, and the moments that make this universe unlike any other. Welcome to the weekly Star Citizen, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the good, and this week that spotlight lands squarely on the Youmandi Encounter. Rarely have we had new things added to the game without game-breaking issues, but the Youmandi Encounter is relatively issue-free and fun to do with your friends. The combat is not easy, but it is not overly difficult either. The encounter nails atmosphere. It's cinematic, not because it tries to be, but because every detail works together. The lighting, the sound design, the Youmandi's movements all seem to be just right. If this is the direction Star Citizen's storytelling mixed with gameplay is heading, then we're in for one hell of a journey. Next up, in the good, the Frontier Fighters finale. While there are a few issues and bugs with these missions, it has largely been a success. Most missions are completed without incident, and they are a quick break from the normal game loops. As much as we call out CIG's mistakes, we need to give them props for being able to implement new missions and storytelling encounters like this. And finally, rounding out the good this week, the FPS Tractor Beam. Yeah, it's not flashy. It's not a new ship, or a cinematic mission, or a surprise event. But it's the kind of change that matters, the kind that makes everything else just work better. The new tuning makes the beam feel solid. The feedback, the pull, the resistance, the subtle hum in your hand, it finally sells the illusion that you're manipulating solid mass with a gravity-defying futuristic technology. Before, it was finicky. Objects jittered, slipped, or spun like they were possessed by a gremlin in the code. Now, you can actually trust it. It doesn't feel like you're wrestling the physics engine anymore. You're working with it. So yeah, maybe it's not headline grabbing, but it's a quiet triumph. The kind that makes the verse feel just a little more alive, and a lot more playable. Now, the bad. Let's talk about the Anvil Paladin, a ship that should have been a symbol of strength and grace, but right now, it's more statue than soldier. On paper, it's everything a pilot dreams of, a fortress in the stars, a champion of Anvil engineering. But in practice, it feels heavy, sluggish, and uncertain of what it wants to be. It's solid, sure, but the handling makes every maneuver feel like dragging a battleship through molasses. The turret depression doesn't quite fit and doesn't allow the pilot and top turret gunner to hit the same target in the front of the ship. It's not that the Paladin is bad at everything, it's just not great at anything. It looks like a brawler, but fights like the pissed-off fat kid that is always chasing the smaller and more agile fast kid on the playground. For a ship that carries the name Paladin, you expect presence, confidence, control, command. Instead, what we got is a ship that's still searching for its purpose. So for now, the Anvil Paladin sits firmly in the bad. Not broken, not hopeless, just waiting for the rework it deserves. And next in the bad, the Esperia Stinger. It's a ship that looks like it belongs on the showroom floor. Sleek, exotic, a piece of alien art sculpted for the stars. But once you get behind the stick, the shine starts to fade. The Stinger promises agility and precision, a dancer in dogfights, but what we got feels more like a drunk spider in 0G. The controls are twitchy, the energy drain is brutal, and weapon alignment feels off, like the ship's fighting itself. It's beautiful, yes, but beauty doesn't win battles. Right now, the Stinger feels less like a Predator and more like a prototype, something that looks the part, but isn't ready for the front lines. Maybe with tuning, it could sting the way it was meant to, but for now, it's the bad. And finally, the ugly, the Wicklow changes. Because somehow what was supposed to make life easier ended up making everything feel worse. It's confusion wrapped in frustration, topped with bugs that make it just not work. Information that used to be right in front of you is now a long quantum jump away, and nothing feels where it should be. It's like someone decided to redesign your cockpit controls mid-flight. The intent might have been to streamline, but the result is a masterclass in overcomplication and bad user-centered design. It's not broken enough to be funny, but it's messy enough to make you sigh every time you try to use it. These Wicklow changes aren't just bad design, they're the ugly kind of bad, the kind that makes you miss the old bugs. It also seems like Wicklow has gotten himself into trouble and isn't able to fulfill his contracts right now. And the next of this week's The Ugly, the kind that makes veterans groan and new players question every life choice that led them here. We're talking about regression issues, those old, familiar bugs that somehow found their way back from the grave. The hull C missions that refuse to trigger, leaving haulers stranded with empty holds. The persistent hangars that forget your ships exist. And of course, the eternal torment of the infinite loading screen, a black hole that swallows both your patience and your evening plans while you wait for the character reset. It's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing, because every fix feels like it brings back 2 old bugs. These are the moments when Star Citizen reminds you that it's still a work in progress. Ambitious, beautiful, but undeniably broken. Poor coding and test practices, bad software design principles, and serious lack of pride in putting out bug-free code. The ships are gorgeous, the worlds are stunning, the story is good, and yet, sometimes, you just can't fathom why you continue to fight through the continuous frustration of workarounds. This isn't the kind of ugly you laugh at. It's the kind that sighs, mutters, "not again," and reloads the launcher anyway. Because that's the curse of being a Star Citizen. And that's a wrap on the very first episode of Star Citizen, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thanks for watching, and for being part of this journey from day one. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button, subscribe, and help us grow this channel. Every click helps us bring more stories from the verse to life. And we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us your take on this week's video, and any good, bad, or ugly experiences you've had. Until next time, fly safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the verse.